Welcome, carried by a bird, to Valheim, a new game that's available on Steam, an early access, available for you right now. It is based on Norse mythology and survival game sort of mechanics, along with taking up and some bosses to battle, exploration and resource gathering, etc. So why don't we get started with the game, and you can see whether you like it or not. If you like this video, of course, you can hit the subscribe button down below or click on the like and the bell as you normally would, but let's get started with something meaningful. You start the game by dropping into this circle, and you're going to say hello to a friendly bird called Hugin, one of Odin's two birds, I believe. Anyway, so yes, these are sort of representative of the bosses in the game. There are 5 of them that I know of, and you have to basically mount trophies to them. We'll get to that soon enough, or at least once we get through some starting gameplay. So, yes, we're going to just click on that. That's the location of our first boss, but we're not going to worry about that too much. If you play multiplayer, you want to click on this thing down here, but we're not actually multiplayer at the moment. So I'm just going to head off in the middle of nowhere and see what I've got. Do I have any inventory whatsoever? I do not. I just have some a rag tunic, and a torch, and not much else. So, how are we going to start the game? Or we should explain a little bit more about the game itself. I'm going to not worry about those instructions whatsoever. I'm going to read these occasionally, but getting started, we're going to collect wood and stone, as you might imagine from most survival games, and they're strewn along the ground. You can also punch these small trees, and you can see the skills being improved on screen when I do so. And that's generally how skills are improved in this game. It's all about using them. You can't just buy them or something like that. It is about using them. And on the ground, you'll also see branches like this that you can pick up. And similarly, if I can see any, I can't see any just yet. We'll see when we get to the plains down here. You should be able to see them. Rocks around there as well that we're going to want. There's one. Yeah, so we're going to pick up some wood and stone and then get on with the actual gameplay. Basically giving ourselves a little starting settlement that is safe and nice and secure down here. There are 3 types of mobs you're going to want to almost immediately kill, or at least try to. One of them is boar, and you're probably going to want some weapons for that. And the same thing with deer. It's the second type of mob that you're going to want. And then there are these sort of wilding creatures in the woods that will try to attack you, that you're going to want those as well. So if you're following along, this is east of that starting location on the seed that I showed you. Or did I show you the seed? No, I didn't. I'll put the seed down below in the description if you want to play on the same world. So here we are in the middle of nowhere with nothing and a shoreline and not much else. So you can see boars over there. You can beat them up with your hands if you want to, but we really probably don't want to do that. Instead, I'm going to press tab, and then we're going to be able to have some options for crafting different things. A hammer is for building buildings, and a stone axe is what you might expect to get or need fairly soon. So we are just going to craft a stone axe. Don't worry about crafting multiples of them right now. You'll be able to repair them in game without much of a problem once we build the next sort of step here. I am going to want a couple more pieces of stone for that, and then we can get some wood together. Let me just grab some more stone here. You can also get flint close to water generally, so you are going to need that as well for the upgraded tier for various different bits and pieces, but that's fine for now. And of course shift to run, but that is also a skill, so as you're actually running, you get better at running or using less stamina, I think, for your... Oh, and there's one of our little grayling, I should say. Well, it's not wildling. There we go. There we go. Okay, so killed that, and they will drop stuff that you need to walk over to pick up. This one either didn't or I have it in my inventory. I have it in my inventory resin. That's used for making torches. Basically, you can put standing torches down during the night time, so you don't have a problem. There are multiple different types of wood. You can't immediately just break certain types. There's only 1 or 2 types you can actually get at the start, and you will need other things later. So I'm just going to go for this beech tree. Be aware, if the wood falls on you, you can die. have done this before. And just keep on hitting the tree until it falls over. But bear in mind, when it does fall over, it is going to potentially knock other trees down. Or lodge out of my way in another tree. Okay. Let's knock another tree down. This isn't good. Yep. And when you plant your own trees, and that will become apparent later in the game, you can cause a sort of avalanche of trees just by knocking one over. So it is kind of good. Also, you're going to want to head to the middle of the tree that you knocked down, and then hit it in the middle. And what you should end up with is it first breaking into two. Ow. This really hurts. And then it's going to break into the logs that we can use for everything else. And yeah, I'm going to just go around here and break this into logs. Don't worry, it won't break into anything else that will roll once you've got it down into this stage. So I don't have a problem there. There we go. So lots and lots and lots of pieces of wood. So yeah, a little bit more stone, and we're going to then craft a hammer. Here it is. And the hammer I'm just going to put in number 3. There we go. And a new introduction. Yeah, start by building a workbench. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to build my workbench and then eventually my little settlement down here. This area near the water. Seems like a nice place. You will be able to flatten all this land out pretty soon, so don't worry about building there. But we are going to want to basically build using our hammer. So change to the hammer. Go right-click, and then you should be able to just choose to craft a workbench. And unfortunately, what it's going to say in any second is the workbench is fine, but it won't work until you put a roof over it. It's basically a bit of a tutorial to build a kind of building. Yes, let's just press E on it. Say crafting station needs a roof. So we're going to get started with the simplest possible roof, I think. Let's just go for this piece. And then you can rotate using the mouse scroll. And let's just put this down. It will be slightly inaccurate. We'll have to replace the workbench in a minute. But don't worry. We just need to put some kind of roof over the top of it. And that should do if I just come put some thatch roof down. 45 degrees. Yeah, that should do. Attach it to the top like that. And then spin it around. And like this. What am I missing as a requirement? Oh, 2 more pieces of wood. Fine, I'll go and get them and bring you back in a second. Okay, this should be better. It should dock to the top. And you may be looking, it'll say, okay, everything works, or you may not. Yes, too exposed. So in that case, you may want to just basically middle click, with that. Break down your workbench and just replace it somewhere nice. You always get a full refund for items, by the way, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem. I'm just going to try and make it in the middle. I should get... there it is. Yeah, it was on the ground. There we go. And let's see whether this actually works now. Still too exposed. Fine, if you get this message, you can either play around with that placement. Eventually it should work. Or you can just place a couple more pieces of wood. To something like this. And that should snap into place. And spin it around. And snap it into place there, hopefully. There we go. And do you work now? No, still too exposed. Fine, I am going to make this work. Let's just get rid of you a second and replace you further back inside this thing. So right click, and crafting, workbench, spin it around. There. Will you work now? Yes, you will. So as far back as you can inside your little hovel, or whatever you want to call this little lean-to. So that should work. And then you can see over here, we can click on this repair button, and it will repair all of our items. We don't need to craft multiples. We can also upgrade items with this second tab over here. Next thing we should do is probably craft a hoe for flattening ground. So there it is. That's available in number 2 now. And I'm also going to want to get some food. You can see at the bottom left of the screen, I don't have much in the way of health. And I haven't really picked any up. So you're going to want to just pick up mushrooms or raspberries, wherever you can, inside the woods. And bring them back. Ideally, you want 3 different types of food, but we just don't have that just yet. So that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go and forage, and I'll bring you back in a second. Here you go. We've got raspberries. find these in the woods everywhere, and if we just right click them from our inventory, you'll see the bottom left I have one type of food, in this case raspberries, and you can also see we're right here next to a little broken down house basically. Sometimes these have chests in them, very useful to do, or you just break them down for materials. You know, we could just once we have a workbench nearby, you can put one workbench down, break it all down, then pick up the workbench, and it all works fine as well. So, yep, we've got enough food to, or at least to start getting on with, but we're going to want more types of that very soon. I'm going to continue grabbing some resources, and then we want to think about crafting our first house with these resources before it goes dark. When it goes dark, it's going to get cold, and etc., etc. You're going to want to basically get out of that situation as fast as you can. So I'm off to get some more wood. And here in one of those broken down huts, we've got a couple of other things, some amber, some flint, and some arrows. And we can't really do anything with the arrows just yet, but we will once we get to the point of crafting a bow. Not just yet, but keep on looking out for these. Now, I normally like to build a starting house up on a platform, but we don't really have a lot of time, and it's just we want to get something built before it goes too dark. So pick a level that you want to basically raise or lower the ground height to. Select your hoe. It's going to base on whatever you stood on, so it will raise or lower the land, and then you can basically click around yourself to create a bit of a flat spot. By default it's set to flat, but it does have other ways of raising and lowering the ground. Okay, so we've got some place there to call our own, and then you can see where the circle is in the background. That's a circle that your workbench applies to, i.e. the circle that you can build in. So we're just going to get started with a very simple sort of layout. I would normally put all these wooden boards on top of the platform, but again, we don't have enough time just yet. I will rebuild this in the coming day or something along those sort of lines. So a wooden floor will do just fine. 3x3 or 3x4 or 4x4 will all work fine. And you're going to need a little bit of space for a campfire, so leave a space at the back for that. You kind of need it to be able to put it on regular ground, so we'll come back to it in a second when we've got some walls down. Let's place those in. You can see the colours. The colours do actually mean something, but we're not. In fact, I'm going to put a campfire near the ocean. The colours do mean something. I'm going to come on to those a little bit. Basically, the blue's good, green's good, yellow not so good, or red even worse. So, yeah, have a think about that when you're actually building the stuff. There we go. And then we're going to want a wooden gate. It's a little bit taller. You can put a wooden door in, but I prefer the gate size of things. And then we can just go for something like this kind of size. There we go. There we go. And we're going to be able to do a similar kind of thing as here. We're going to build thatched roofs in. It should be okay there. And we're going to also want to build a campfire somewhere around here. Do I have enough for that yet? I'm going to need a few more stones. So I'm going to fill it in just like this, and then I'll bring you back in a second. So my thatched roof is on, and I'm going to place down a bed. It's going to act as your spawn spot. Yep. It's hello again. Yes, it is. And we can claim the bed that way. And can we actually sleep? Looks like we can. To get us through the night, apart from the bird sitting on top of our bed. Yes, and we dream of a great tree reaching out through the night. Fairly fine. And it's morning time. So, you can see we have a rested buff at the top. We have resting state, the comfort 4. Comfort basically depends on what you've built inside your house. So, that's something to think about. And as you can see, there's little bits and pieces that I could do with finishing on this house. So, I'm just going to finish it off and tidy up these wooden boards. But now it's daytime again. Everything isn't going to be cold, and should be easy enough to do. So once you've got your little wood hut up and running, we can just craft a little bit of a fireplace. There we go. That'll do for now. And on the inside, then we're going to be able to craft, well, mainly I think I'm going to want to make a few storage chests at least. So let's just craft those up well, let me craft something else first. Craft a cooking station and put it on top of your fire, wherever your fire is. There it goes. We're going to use that in a minute. And we're also going to want the chests. Can we actually build them yet? Furniture? Yes, we can. So I'm just going to put a couple of chests in place. There we go. And that's something to keep, well, basically keep stuff here in case you die. So that's good. We've got some food here. We've got some dandelions. I'm going to just control click all this stuff in. I'm not going to replant trees just yet, but that will come into handy, or will become handy later. Got some feathers, some leather scraps. I have been killing a few boars, so that does unlock a few recipes. Do actually make sure to do that while you're out there. And I'm just going to put in that's fine. So what I'm going to do now is just add some fuel to the fire, and then click on the top where the cooking station is, and you're going to get 2 pieces of meat. Wait for the hissing noise to appear again, and then click on them. Don't leave it, because they will burn if you leave it longer than the next hissing noise. So off I am to cook the meat, and then that will do, as well as raspberries for 2 of the 3 that we can actually use. There is another type of food that we're going to get fairly soon. But for the moment, well, let's wait for it to cook. A couple more items we're going to want to actually craft now is going to be a flint knife. Very handy to have. You're going to need a couple of leather scraps for that, so let's craft one of those. And also a flint axe. That's going to replace your stone axe. There we go. So that, I think, yep, sharper than stone. So we'll just swap those around, and then I will just get rid of this and put it in the chest. I think that's pretty much everything I actually want here. Yeah, 4. Now, for the flint knife, one of which is pretty good for actually killing things, but also you can sneak around and backstab deer with it, which is good. You're not going to be able to do that with boar, however, they are going to probably see you. If I just try to sneak up on this boar, it is going to probably just turn around and go straight for me. However, I will level up my stealth by hitting control and trying to do this, so it's worthwhile doing. Yep, the boar has seen me, so let's just stab it. And we should get more raw meat from it, and also leather scraps and stuff like that. The deer will give you hides, and that's the thing you'll need to use to basically upgrade your own armor. You'll see if I didn't sneak up on it, I have to kill it with 3 blows like that, so still worthwhile having, but we're going to need the hides too to upgrade our clothes. So one thing you need to also get from the deer is you're going to need to get 2 deer trophies. They're required to actually fight the first boss, so don't throw them away when you get them, and just continue to basically stock yourself some more food and get some more meat cooked up, and you're ready to go, I think. When you get enough flint, 10 is enough, I think, you're going to want to go and then upgrade your workbench. And to upgrade that, you're going to basically want to craft a chopping block and put that somewhere nearby. That should be the whole extent of the whole thing. And then you can see there's lots of new crafting recipes that you get. But mainly, we're going to want to look at the upgrade section. I'm just going to repair everything first. So we can upgrade our axe, we can upgrade our knife, etc. and have that do more damage. So I am going to actually spend a little bit more on those. Do I have enough for both? I don't have enough for both right now. I think I'm going to take the knife. Okay, and we'll go and get some more flint and upgrade the rest. But you can see that's also unlocked some other recipes, and this is where the deer hide comes in from hunting that. So I'm just going to grab the tunic for now, upgrade that, and you'll be able to, craft it, and then you'll be able to upgrade it over here as well with, well, I'm not going to do bone fragments yet, but certainly got some deer hide. We'll just go and craft some more items as and when we get them. So I'm just going to equip that. There we go, and you will find the larger version of the greylings. You get the grey dwarfs. They're harder to actually, they're harder to kill, but not too difficult at this stage of the game. And just keep collecting stuff basically. And you can also find little sort of frogs, I guess, or toads that you get necktails from. So yeah, again, just throw it back in your house inside your what will probably become many chests. And keep on foraging for more flint, for more upgrades. It is now day 4, and I've crafted a new wooden shield just to act as a bit of defense. I've got some mushrooms as well here. Now let's use those maybe as the 3rd type of food, can we? Looks like we can. Hopefully they're not poisonous. Let's just put them there, and everything else is fine. We're going to head over to this little boss area, and let's see how tough it is. If it kills us, well, it kills us. Worthwhile seeing anyway. So I brought my couple of deer trophies, and here we go. Hey, warrior. You found the summoning place of one of the Forsaken. Make the correct offering at their altar and they will come. Be wary though, the Forsaken are not easy prey. So craft a wicked weapon, don your finest armor, leather, and eat a hearty meal before doing this. And let's take a look. What does it say? Hunt his kin. Yeah, it basically means, yes, deer. And it's going to be a deer boss. So let's just grab a couple of bits and pieces there. And can we put you on the bar? Looks like we can. And we can use it like that. Let's equip both of our axe and shield. And presume it's going to appear from over there. Hi. Oh, boss bar. Oh no. Please don't be Dark Soulsy. Oh, that could be Dark Soulsy. That could be Dark Soulsy indeed. Let's just hit you. Oh, that might take a while. Wow. Okay, I might be here for a bit of a fight. I'll see you shortly. Just to cut this off. Well, maybe I'll just hit you one or twice more. Wow, you're really hard to actually evade. And you're coming back. Okay, see you in a few minutes. After a long fight composed of mainly hiding behind this rock and then hitting it when it actually came around the other side, we got the Eikthyr trophy. Basically, some horns. Okay, and we got some hard antlers. Those are very important. We're going to be wanting to use them to craft other stuff. But first of all, well, oh, there's our raven friend, or crow. Return to the sacrificial stones with your Forsaken trophy and offer it as a sacrifice. Yes. So this is one of the buffs that you get when you beat the bosses, and you can choose your buffs later in the game. You can choose one of them. In this case, we only have one, so we may as well just choose the buff anyway. So let's grab some of the bits and pieces and head back up to our starting circle. So from here we should be able to mount this on the trophy, and then we can activate the power to basically jump stamina usage in minus 60%, run stamina usage 60%, so we definitely want that, don't we? Yep. Upgrade. Cool, and here comes Hugin. Yes, next target dwells in the Black Forest. Go there, explore the lands. Black Forest has lots of giant trolls. You may not want to necessarily go there just yet, but yes, that's certainly the next boss available. So from here, I'm going to head back to our house. One thing we're going to be able to want to make now that we have the antlers is basically a pickaxe, so that we can actually break stone. We can't, well, we haven't been able to do that until now. More importantly, that lets us get it towards making metal or gathering metal. Particular copper, tin, and therefore to make bronze. But yeah, back to the base. As you get further and further afield, you're going to want to be able to find your home again. So do be aware on the map, you can just create yourself a basically an icon, double click anywhere you like, call it home, for instance, and there it'll appear on your map. That will not be visible to other people, however, even if you click on this down here. Only your location will be. It's slightly annoying. I would like to be able to share these locations, but yeah, that's what we've got at the moment. And let's see on the workbench. Yep, antler pickaxe. We can craft that. And we're going to keep some hard antlers. We've got 3 of them, and we've got the pickaxe now. So I'm going to just swap that around. I'm going to want it there. Yeah, that's number 5 is fine. And then we should be able to use it to go and break some stone, maybe. Will you work? Whoops. That's... There we go, still improved pickaxes. Will you let me break any stone? It looks like it is breaking. There we go. So we can get any stone we like, and then we should be starting to look for metals. Yes, Black Forest is rich in minerals. There you can find copper in the ground and tin lining the ocean shore. We may find it around here somewhere. There is, I think tin's like a sort of black coloured ore. Are you tin? Just rock? Probably just rock. I'll head along here and see if we can find any. Along with some deer friends. And on this seed, I've got some Black Forest over here on the east of our home. So you can see right here, I've got a tin deposit. So, assuming I don't miss, I can actually break this and get some tin. We're also going to need copper as well. So both of those would be good whenever you see them. Do I have, how much tin do I have? 3. Well, it wasn't a huge amount. The tin nodes, however, there are gigantic nodes in the side of hills, and oh wow, stone. Raw ore needs to be done in the smelter, yes. We need circling cores, and they are going to be in dungeons. We're not going to go out to dungeons just yet, but out. Something's got. Oh, this conveniently is a dungeon. Yes. Let me just actually equip my shield. There we go. Smash those. And there's another skeleton up there. And one of them keeps... Stop shooting me with arrows. There we go. One thing I didn't mention, by the way, the Eikther buff. You have to press F to actually use it after you've attuned it at the main sort of circle. And that should be that. Can you come down here? Looks like you may be able to. Is there any chests in here for me to loot? If not, I need to head. I don't feel rested a minute anymore. Yes. I would kind of like to get up these steps, though. How about just breaking that out from under here? That might be interesting. Can we put a workbench down here somewhere? No, it doesn't like... I can't circumvent that entire mechanic. So I guess I'm going to have to just break these from underneath it and go from there. So can I actually hit them? Yeah, probably not. Okay, fine, I will build up to it. Oh, I can't even build up to it. How am I going to get that guy? I can build up to it. I put a workbench down, and I should be able to get to it. But it's got to start, and that means it's tougher than normal. It hit me once, and I took off like 30, 40 health, so that's not great. Anyway, at least I can actually build to it. And that's pretty much it for today's episode, other than to say, I built a raft. You can just build it straight out of your miscellaneous crafting. It does take a fair amount of leather scraps and wood, but other than that, you can build it. And you can get on and use that rudder at the back to be able to pilot it around places. It will become useful, and there are much better boats than this, of course, but we've got to get to that point in the game before doing so. So I'm back at my nice little log cabin, and let's just shut up for the night and say, well, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, click on the like button down below. And of course, if you want to see more episodes, subscribe and click on the bell. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. And that's it for today's episode of Valheim.